I don't want you to look at my list. No peeping. Hello and welcome to another episode of Elz Tells.
Bum, Elz Tells.
We're doing it acoustically every time.
No,
Just
we're not.
like
No, we're actually inserting the track. No. The track is going there.
Don't worry, we've made an intro. Hopefully by the time this is up.
Otherwise, it's just me.
Every single time.
Elz Tells. Elz Tells.
And Nikon.
Elz Tells. What you telling? Yeah.
Today's episode
I'm not rude with my phone here, by the way.
Rude.
Sorry.
Rude. Don't you hate that when you're out with someone and all they do is like go on their phone?
I'm expecting a call, so just... No, it's really disrespectful.
I'm waiting to
if
go.
you sit down with someone and they put their phone on the table...
Today, we are ranking our top 10 Pixar films. There are 28 Pixar films listed on the Google.
Pixar...
I don't know where Planes is, though, because that wasn't on the list.
This doesn't deserve
They are not counting that.
Doesn't deserve to be remembered.
So we have both separately ranked our top 10 Pixar films, and I've also done honourable mentions, overhated and overrated. Homework has been done. Lists are prepared. Feel free to let us know what your favies are. Honourable mentions, should we start there?
Honourable mentions first.
Okay.
Well, so these are films which did not make it into the top 10.
It's just honourable mentions. So yeah, if they're not in your top 10...
What's your version of honourable mentions then?
Yeah, they're films that didn't make it into the top 10. No, it's because overhated and overrated could also be in your list.
Oh yeah, but they're films that are nowhere near top 10. Do you know what I mean?
Honourable mentions. You go first.
Bug's Life is incredible, and I love Bug's Life.
This is your honourable mention, so it doesn't make your top 10.
Didn't quite make top 10 though. When you think about it, think about top 10 Pixar films.
You'll have to see mine in a minute. It is in my top 10.
I can totally respect it being in top 10.
I think it deserves top 10, but we'll get there.
I don't think it's quite there for me.
One for me, Up. It did not make my top 10, but it's an honourable mention.
It made top 10 for me. Onward. I loved it.
That is in my top 10.
I love Onward. Not quite top 10.
I am disappointed in you, but we'll talk about it later. Toy Story 4. It's not in my top 10, but for me it is an honourable mention. Ducky and Bunny and...
It's not in my top 10 either.
Beautiful animation. I love it.
Inside Out. Love the idea. Not quite top 10.
That hasn't made my list. It hasn't made overhated, overrated or honourable mentions for me.
Not that forgettable. Don't be that harsh.
No. I'm not being harsh.
Got some of the emotions here.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Here's the thing. I love absolutely everything Pixar, really. I love it all. It's like choosing faves, right? My thing with Inside Out is I don't rewatch it.
So it wouldn't make top 10? Would it make top 15? Would it even be in the top half?
No, because my honourable mentions would be my next 5. So WALL-E,
Yikes.
Up, Toy Story 4,
Inside
Monsters
Out's
University.
not that bad. Yikes.
And no, I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't rewatch it. I don't enjoy it as much because Bing Bong fades away. Absolutely can't cope. Absolutely can't cope. I did a video. I really wanted them in number 2 to bring him back, and they could have done a thing on like jogging your memory, right? So had a little guy on a running machine to jog the memory.
Yeah, decent.
The parents should have brought out a little drawing that she did when she was young.
Yeah, someone else can
and
jog
said,
your memory.
What? Do you not remember this?
Like
and then it jogs the memory. There's a spark, right?
I respect that.
And then he would have come back, and Joy could have been like, "What are you doing here? Oh my word!"
Was Inside Out 2 better than Inside Out 1?
No.
Really? But you had like Maya Hawke.
Loved all of the new emotions.
I thought she did really well.
Absolutely loved it. Inside Out and Inside Out 2 didn't speak to me, or it didn't have something that I look for in a top 10 Pixar film.
Spoke to me because I'm a 13-year-old girl.
I did love Anxiety. I absolutely loved it. I'm not saying I didn't. It's just if I had to choose between watching that or Toy Story 4, I would choose Toy Story 4, which probably is a controversial hot take, as the cool kids say. In terms of what I would rather watch, I don't put on Inside Out that often.
Fair. Go on, next honourable mention.
Cars.
Shut up. Just don't.
I know.
That's top 10. That's top 5. Don't even talk to me.
Nikon loves Cars. I used to really...
Nikon loves... A lot of people like Cars.
I know.
Lightning McQueen is very widely known. I'm not in some niche.
We'll talk about that when we get to it, because it's obviously in your top 10. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
Top 5. Luca. Incredible.
Right.
Love Luca. Proper good story. Love the characters. Love the premise. Love everything that went into it.
Yeah.
Not quite top 10 though.
I can see that. For me, it's not top 15. It's just short.
Harsh.
It's just shy.
You're
No,
harsh.
I did really enjoy it. However, put it on the big screen. They just put it straight to streaming.
I didn't even realise that.
So for me, it always has like, it's always a bit of a miss because I'm like, I just
Feels
watched
like
it at
they treated it a
home,
bit differently,
and
yeah.
they've purposely treated it like that. And I think if you wanted people to really love it and watch it, you'd put it in the cinema. I really like Luca. I really enjoy it, but it's also not a top for me.
Silenzio Bruno.
I'll tell you the best bit.
What?
Is when he turns around and double crosses, and the twist is that he's like, oh no, it's a monster, and isn't with his bestie.
Oh, sells out his bestie.
Yeah,
to
that's
hang
the
out
best
with
bit.
Julia.
Okay, overrated. 3, 2, 1. Soul. I knew it.
Shocking.
I knew it.
Doesn't make top 27. Becomes
Doesn't make top 27.
If Planes could come in and take the 28th
Right.
place, Soul goes to 29.
Right, but I did some
it's
research
just
here.
overrated.
It's number 12 on Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes.
Where do you live? Rotten Tomatoes?
It's number 12 of Pixar Films.
On what? On what website?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's got 95%.
What does that mean?
That
I've
means
never
good.
understood Rotten
That
Tomatoes.
means peeps loved it.
Wait,
that means
what, 95%? People loved
peeps
Soul?
loved. Yeah. And I've put on my notes, pandemic effect, ? Because that came out during COVID times when everyone wanted a new film.
I don't remember the name of the main character. What's the
Joe
plot?
Gardner, but I know my stuff. I would win a pub quiz. Here's the tea with Soul. I was like, where is this going? They did the thing where he's in the cat,
Oh, stop
which
it.
I actually quite like that. I was like, okay, this is going a different way. I'll tell you what I didn't like. They were able to get back and forth between
Yeah, wait, yeah, what?
so
Sorry.
easily. So easily. Graham Norton turns up on a boat
On
and
a
you're
pirate
back.
boat. And I wanted to, because I adore Graham Norton.
I love that man.
I adore Graham Norton. And I wanted to love Graham Norton as a pirate ship captain thing, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't. Going between the worlds as souls. No, sorry.
Like, even at the end, right? And he's just back and has another chance at life.
Oh, it was just plotarmor.com.
I'm like, why?
It literally, yeah.
Why is he back?
I thought he died.
He literally did. I didn't laugh. I didn't cry. I didn't find it inspiring. I know some people do. I really wish I did. I wish I had a connection there, but I just didn't.
Musicians are so. It's not like it's like, oh, it's totally so far removed. Like, I'm a musician myself.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't speak to me on any level.
It felt a
that
bit
film.
messy. Messy. Overrated, definitely. My other overrated,
You've only got 2.
I've only got 2. I used to think Cars is what I've put on here. I used to think it was overrated.
Good. I'm glad it's not on that list
I
anymore.
have been changed, but we'll get to that because it's in your top 10.
Cars is actually good.
Okay.
Cars is actually top 5 good.
Okay. Go on.
Okay, so my overrated.
Yeah,
You're not
any
gonna
others?
like this. The Incredibles.
I agree.
I don't like The Incredibles. I don't get it. What's the fuss?
It's
Edna
not that I
Mode,
don't like it.
iconic.
Icon.
the
Frozen.
characters,
Frozen.
but that's Samuel L.
Icon.
Jackson. He is iconic. He could play a pickle in a jar in that film, and it
Some
would be
people
iconic
say
moment.
that is the best superhero film.
Oh.
With The Incredibles, I feel like it misses some of the heart that I look for in a Pixar film. I'm looking for Pixar to hit me with something that other films fail to achieve, and Incredibles just doesn't do that.
It's very character-led. I don't care about the story. That's the issue with The Incredibles. I love the characters. Mr. Incredible, I love Mrs. Incredible. I love Violet. I love Dash.
See,
and
that's
who's the
the
little
same
baby?
thing. Jack.
Jack,
That's the same thing with
good characters.
Inside Out. I love the characters,
Yes.
not necessarily the story.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is a common
Story's
theme
not good enough. Yeah.
in the ones that don't make this list are when I actually think about the story and the film as a whole, do I enjoy it or do I just like the characters? And that's how I've kind of chosen my list. So overhated.
So films that get too much stick and they're not
I've
that
got
bad.
2.
You go first.
Toy Story 4.
Same.
Brilliant. Because I was like, great, good. People hate on this film and I don't get why, really. Because if you, I do. It's because our standards are set so high because they went from Toy Story 2 to Toy Story 3 and it got better and better and better and better. And so people had such high expectations for Toy Story 4 that there was barely anything they could have done. People would have hated on it.
There's a clip of Quentin Tarantino talking about Toy Story 3, saying that it's perfection. And I totally agree. Toy Story 4 wasn't needed, but it gets overhated because it's not that bad.
Right.
It's not needed.
I think
100%.
it's a great film.
It's all right.
Duke Kaboom, hilarious.
Yes, he's funny.
Ducky and Bunny, hilarious.
Yeah.
Forky, carry me. I say that all the time.
He's bearable. Yeah, but
No, that's the whole point. He's meant to be a little bit annoying.
Combat Car's my favourite bit. in Combat
Oh,
Car
when he
Junior.
goes for the high five.
Yeah.
With his little mate, and he doesn't take it. Hilarious.
There are moments of very funny stuff in Toy Story 4.
There are obviously things that I didn't like about Toy Story 4, like the fact that, like, why did they make Bo Peep, like, take off her skirt and that? I thought she was a China doll.
I don't know I don't know what material she was made out of when we saw her the second time round.
Yeah. I feel like they took a lot of changes that I wouldn't have made.
Remodel, yeah.
Right. But
Pete Bo.
What? Surely it would be Beep Poe.
I don't know.
Beep Poe.
Let's bite you.
Also with Toy Story 4, we didn't get enough of the original gang.
No.
Definitely not enough. Ham is my fave.
Woody, I don't know what's going on with Woody in Toy Story 4.
No, let me tell you why I defend the storyline of Woody. In Toy Story 2, we see him wanting to stay with Jessie. He kind of wants to leave, but Andy keeps him there. That's always his driving force, is his friends and Andy, right? We get to the point in Toy Story 4, bear in mind that all of Toy Story 3, all the other toys just like, oh, college boy. And they literally take the mick out of him the whole time. Toy Story 4, he finally sees Bo again, the love of his life, decides he's going to do something for himself because Bonnie doesn't even love him. So he's not needed there anymore. But Bo Peep needs him. All of the toys who get abandoned at the fair need him. So he follows his need. So characteristically, it does make sense for him and his character. He goes where he's needed. That's always been what he does.
Yeah.
Boom.
And he sacrifices his voice box for Gabby Gabby and all that.
Well, that's the only bit where
overhated.
I really don't like that bit. Next one, Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, that gets a lot. Do you know what? I wrote it and then I took it off because I wasn't sure actually how much hate that film gets. Does it get a lot of hate? Because if it does, then I'll put it on this list. Because it doesn't deserve to be hated that much.
Oh, yeah, maybe it should go in. I
Honourable Mentions.
don't have an underrated one. Well, no, because I don't feel like it's good enough to be in my honourable mentions. I don't rewatch it because I find it so sad.
It's very good.
It hit me. I want that from a Pixar film.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Good Dinosaur hits me hard, but I don't really want to rewatch it.
My turn? Turning Red. Really
Why
good.
do you think people hate it?
I think they don't get the animation style, which is very much meant to be, I suppose, a little bit anime inspired. It's very Asian inspired. And I suppose if you don't understand that, if you've got a great relationship with your mum, you're not going to understand May's relationship with her mum. Or do you know what I mean? If you're not from that Asian household thing, maybe that's why I don't get Soul. Let's be real. Do you know what I mean?
Do you not think it's because it's aimed at girlies?
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, they literally like bring out like pads and stuff, don't they? Yeah. And people did not like that on the line. Some people are very, very sheltered from that kind of vibe and wouldn't want that on the big screen. And some communities do not want you showing period-related products in a film. And the whole point of Turning Red as well, really, is...
I've just understood now the Turning Red double reference. Oh, that's so clever. Yeah.
I've been enlightened. No, but it is one of those where I do think that there are certain people who are like, oh, you know, it's about periods and girlies fancying boys.
It's not about that, though. It's not about that either.
I know.
It's a coming-of-age film for May.
Yes, but for girlies, and this is the point.
I still appreciate it, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
so
some people aren't like
sure.
you. Yeah, some people aren't open-minded and don't like that.
It's not top 10, though, but it's overrated. No. It doesn't deserve to be down in the 20s.
But once again, I don't rewatch it that much.
What's the song?
You're never not on my mind.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Okay.
Are we actually getting into our top 10 now?
10 to 1.
Why have you got a whole page of notes? What's going on?
Yeah, but I've got things, in case you say something, I got my rebuttals. I'm prepared. But I've also got...
I've come to defend a case.
I've got a controversial corner and stuff ready as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I have come to defend my case, Your Honour. All right.
Let's start with you.
This hat is squeezing my head. Disneyland Paris did not make these for big head girlies.
It looks cute, though.
Thanks, Han. 10 for me. Finding Dory. Let me tell you.
Go on.
Let me tell you. I almost put that as Monsters University or like WALL-E, but my gut.
They not made the list then?
No, they're not in my top 10. We'll get there.
Wild.
My gut said Finding Dory deserves that space. So Hank.
Yeah, Septopus
is
Hank.
One of my absolute favourite characters of all time. I would happily watch a Finding Hank film.
Yes.
He hates the ocean. He doesn't want to go to the ocean. Why? What is his backstory? What is going on? Why does he have a missing Tentacle. Give me
Yeah.
Finding Hank immediately. I would take it as a Disney Plus series. Yeah.
I've tended to stay away from the sequels and prequel stuff because
That's a mistake.
on my logic that it's a bit of a cheat, isn't it? Because so I've ranked them on based on how good like Bug's Life, which probably could have made top 10. The idea of it is amazing. When you get to like sequels like Monsters University, that's just building on an amazing idea, Monsters Inc. And Finding Dory is just building on an amazing film, Finding Nemo. So instantly for me, it loses like reputation points, minus rep. Do you know what I mean?
Right, let me tell you for why.
Because it's not an original idea. You're just building on success. Money grab.
No,
Money
disagree.
grab.
Hard disagree. Finding Dory, I think, introduces some amazing characters.
Yeah.
We have whole new locations, whole new places, whole new backstory for Dory. You're telling me you didn't cry at the purple shells? The purple shells
Oh, and
to lead her home.
I felt more sad when they were pushing Gerald off the rock. Idris Elba.
Gerald.
It made me actually dislike
see-
him. Yeah, but it's not. It's not.
It
like
is.
top
That
10.
for me
That's
is
just building on Finding Nemo,
perfect
which is a
Pixar.
top 10 film. Original idea. Something incredible.
So
Amazing
you're telling
story.
me you don't have Toy Story 2?
There is
Okay.
only one sequel here that's worthy of being good enough to be top 10.
What's your 10th?
My 10th is Wall-E, which obviously you mentioned. So you've
Right.
you've ummed with Wall-E. I think Wall-E is a top 10. Again, because of the idea.
Put on your Sunday clothes. There's lots of world out there.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's got loads of references to the Hello Dolly musical in it with Barbara Streisand.
Love it.
Absolutely iconic and love it. I love the Wall-E and Evie kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Eva.
I'm a old dusty Wall-E and you're a nice shiny Evie. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. His little cockroach mate that he goes around with. And you've got the Louis Armstrong
I love
songs
it
in it
and I
stuff like that.
respect it.
La Vie en Rose. No, it's so good.
I love it
So
and
good.
respect it. But if I'm picking a film to put on to feel good, I'm putting Finding Dory on before I put on Wall-E.
Yeah, but that's just like
Are you? What are you putting on?
probably Wall-E. I'd rather watch Wall-E over Finding Dory. 100%.
Whoa.
It's the whole like meaning as well because you've got all the fat people on like hover beds going on this spaceship as well who don't do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
And then they like get up and they do something for themselves and stuff like that. And then obviously the plant grows and all that stuff and they start again. I love it. I think the meaning and everything about what's the meaning of Finding Dory? Tell me.
Here's the tea, right?
No, you've got
It's
nothing.
finding who
You've got
you are.
Niche.
It's finding who you are. They get Hank out of the tank.
Who finds who they are?
Hank's out the tank. Dory.
Oh, remembers. Oh, forgetful
Remember
fish. Forgetful fish
me.
from the first film tries to remember. It's such a basic
Here's my question
storyline.
though. Then it becomes the question of what do you want from a film? Do you want the mirror of humanity being rubish up to you when you're watching a film? Or do you actually just want to escape and watch a cute little fishy find soap and lotion?
Yeah, but right, okay, yeah. Would you rather watch though the soap and lotion? Would you rather watch Finding Nemo or Finding Dory? Dory.
Well, you know the answer to that. Finding Nemo. That's why it's higher on my list.
Well, there you are. So it just Finding Dory. It's just number one, but worse with more just stuff going on.
I'm sorry. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah,
and
Finding Nemo's better. Like we're talking ideas as well. Like,
yeah, Finding
do you know
Nemo's
what I mean?
better, so it's higher on my list. But I don't think that Wall-E is necessarily better than Finding Dory. Number 9, A Bug's Life is number 9.
It could have made top 10 easily. Yeah.
I think it's a classic. It is the absolute definition of ahead of its time.
Circus bugs.
Hilarious. Who ordered the poo-poo platter? We actively, in day-to-day life, quote Bug's Life. I say poo-poo platter all the time. It's so funny. It has great characters. For me, it is slept on, underrated. But then I'm also like, but is it because of the nostalgia aspect? Because if I did watch it new now, would I still love it as much? Would it hit number 9? So I'm like, is this a
Like,
nostalgia
are you talking
curse?
about like with the whole new image? Do you know what I mean? If
new
it, like,
Fandangly films now.
with the current animation.
Would I?
But we're talking
then
the same voice actors, same lines of like
Right.
you know, and everything. Not sure.
I would love to see A Bug's Life remastered. Like, put it on Disney Plus, remastered, looking shiny. That's what I would love to see.
Hopper is a great villain.
Great. I genuinely
Princess
used to be
Atta,
scared as a
Flick,
kiddie.
Yeah.
Dot. You've got Heimlich. He's on the wall somewhere, definitely. Got Flick and stuff as well. But I love A Bug's Life. I really do.
Could have been top 10. The only thing that kept it out of top 10 for me, the animation quality. It's
Yeah,
just
but
not,
you can't be judging it
I
on that.
look at it now and I'm like, oh, that's actually aged. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's aged as badly as some of the other older films.
No.
Like
it does
Toy
look old.
Story for me has aged hard
Toy
aged.
Story 1 looks like it was made in like Windows 95. Just like really bad. Number 9 for me is Elemental, which is a new film.
Okay.
I love Elemental.
Interesting.
Totally speaks to me. I absolutely love it.
It is higher on my list.
Yeah.
Higher.
I think there's a few things for me that kept it where it was, but
Yeah, why is it so low on your list?
because there are better films than that above it in my list.
Yeah, but what was it missing for you then?
Soundtracks. Like some of the soundtracks and some of the other films are really good.
Are you kidding? I love This Round, Darling.
I've just had like
a
thing like come to my Zootropolis. Is that in your top 10?
That's not Pixar.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Is that Disney?
Fake fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just like, why did I not think of that?
No.
I was, because
That's
I thought it was songs, and I thought, what's the gazelle? Like, try everything. And I was like, why is Zootropolis not on this list? Okay, no, it's Disney.
You're fine.
Not Pixar. Elemental's good. It is top 10, but
See, I severely disagree with where you've put it, and we'll wait until I get to mine.
the idea is great. The animation is great. The characters and voice acting is stunning. The ideas that are above it, it's just, it's not as iconic.
I'm shook. I can't lie.
It's not as wide. I'll show Mum and Dad a picture of Lightning McQueen. I'll show Mum and Dad a picture of Woody and Buzz. And then I'll show them whoever it was from Elemental. They won't have a clue.
It is not a popularity contest.
I know, but that's got to be a factor.
No, it doesn't.
If I could walk around a play school
I like what I like.
and be like, do you know who this is? They're like, that's Woody. I'll be like, do you know who this is?
No,
What are even
I'm
the
sorry.
characters' names?
Elemental suffered because people were doing this whole Pixar's lost it. They don't have their spark anymore. So no one went to the cinema to see it. So many people online.
Like who?
So no one went to see it. Well, let me get it up right now.
Find me some Twitter handles now.
No, genuinely,
Let's name and shame
I'm
them.
not on that awful website anymore. What I was saying was, so many people hated on it before they went to see it because they said it lost its spark.
People who hate on films before they've seen a film, sorry,
right.
Get out.
Elemental, I think, deserves way more love.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that because I've given it a lot of love. Number 8 for me, Onward. Easy.
Yeah, that made an honourable mention for me.
Let me
Could have
tell
been top
you.
10, but didn't.
It was the last film in the cinema before lockdown. Do you remember? It literally came
Did we watch
out
it?
early March. We went to see it.
Do we?
Yeah. I think it's tragic it didn't get the attention. Fun, adventurous, heartfelt, has the perfect ending. It's emotional because you see Ian's journey of...
Yeah, no, I think
he goes on... No.
Yeah.
He goes on a journey, right, to find something, and he discovers he had what he needed all along. Beautiful.
I think the reason I didn't like it is because I find Ian Lightfoot annoying. He was like always putting down his brother. He was always like thought his brother was a loser. Didn't like his brother. I know the whole point is that he turns around and realises his brother was like his dad. I need some more. That his brother was like his dad all along. And do you know what I mean? You should have realised that way sooner. Sorry.
You never really like a main character though, do ya?
No.
Harry Potter, no one's favourite character is Harry
He's
Potter.
annoying as well.
Is
Yeah.
Harry.
Yeah.
Like, they have to have something wrong with them to make them the main character. That's kind of the point. Otherwise, he has nothing to learn and nowhere to go and grow.
So, Harry had his own problems. That's why he's like... Frodo had his own problems. Like
Right, no one's favourite character is Frodo.
But the dad... Like, it was both the brothers' problem. Do you know what I mean? They both wanted to see their dad. It wasn't like it was Ian's problem to bear.
But that's the whole point.
Like, the Chris Pratt character also wanted to see
that's the whole point of
his
why
brother,
it's
his
wonderful. Because at the end, Ian sacrifices his one chance to see his dad and gives it...
Too little, too late, though, in my opinion. We wait to the whole film and then Ian has this
I'm
realisation.
sorry, wonderful.
Oh, my brother was actually nice to me.
I think it's a wonderful film and 100% it deserves to be top 10. It's so amazing.
Very good.
And I love the end song as well. Brandy Carlisle, that's how I found her.
Oh, Brandy Carlisle's a queen. Number 8 for me is Brave. I absolutely love Brave. I'll be shooting for my own hand.
Brilliant.
Mordieu.
Such a brilliant
No,
impression.
I love it. The relationship between her and her mum. You've got Billy Connolly as the dad. Incredible. Iconic. I love the music, the Touch the Sky. Was that Mumford & Sons kind of involved with that as well? And just the soundtrack to that is amazing. I love the story. I love the setting in Scotland. We kind of have no other really setting like that there.
Didn't make my top 10
Disgusting.
because I just feel like as a princess film, I just don't love it as much. She doesn't make my top 5 princesses, so why would she make my top Pixar films?
Yeah, she might. Okay. What do you like about it?
It's not that I don't like it. I just feel like you were saying you want fresh and new ideas and that's why you defended WALL-E. but Brave does not bring anything fresh and new.
And admitted what I just said about Onward being like, you know, Merida could be kinder to her mother the whole time. It's so good and I love it so much that bar that. It doesn't need to have new ideas. It doesn't need to be, you know what I mean? I preferred Merida's journey.
The reason maybe I don't like it is because it feels generally dark. It has a dark, even visually, I feel like it's quite a dark film. It doesn't give me that warm, fuzzy, nice feeling that I'm usually looking for in a film. I don't know. I think that's probably the best I can describe it. Don't get me wrong. I love Merida. I love what they tried to do with the whole princess shooting for her own hand thing. I love that vibe. But even character-wise, all of the other characters in the film, I don't love.
There aren't that many, to be fair. It's not a big cast.
Well, there are, though, because they've got all the people, all of the men who come from the army.
All the clans.
They've got her whole family. They've got the witch.
The 3 brothers.
So they do. You just don't care about them. Whereas I love films when I care about a lot of the characters, not just the main girlie.
I like Merida.
I do really like her. And Angus the horse is very cute.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just not top for me.
All right, number 7 for you.
Ratatouille.
Yes, Ratatouille is in there.
Ratatouille, number 7. Anyone can cook.
Ratatouille is in my top 10.
Stellar. Love it. What's funny is, I'm like, is it overrated now, the film?
No, Ratatouille is incredible.
Because after we had the Ratatouille, the musical, Ratatouille the musical on TikTok.
That's just, yeah.
And we actually wrote a song for the Ratatouille musical as well, which we had a lot of fun doing. We do Missing Disney songs. I could actually play a bit of it here.
Insert.
Insert clip.
I like it. It was good fun to do.
Now let the record show that in the wise words of Auguste Cousteau that anyone can cook. One day my dishes will steal the show and I will run my own bistro. Now let the record show that in the wise words of Auguste Cousteau that anyone can cook.
But yeah, I wondered if now people feel like it's been, because before I thought it was underrated. Now I'm like, ooh, do other people find it overrated now? Because I feel like
no, it's incredible.
so many people are talking about it now.
The idea, the animation, phenomenal.
A
really
film
good.
where you love more than just the main character. I love Emile. I love Linguini. Even the
baddie
villain,
chef,
the little short chef.
I can't remember his name. Yeah.
Hilarious. I would love to be in that like pitch room when people have the idea for a story and they've gone, right, so it's a story about a rat and he wants to be a chef. So he hides in the hat. It's genius.
Number 7 for me, which didn't make your top 10, Up. It's top 10, Pixar. It's iconic.
I love the first 10 minutes of Up. And
No
then...
one can love the first 10 minutes of Up. It's devastating.
No, but I mean because of what it does, because of what it says and
Everyone
everything,
remembers the first 10 minutes of Up.
the music. It's not the one that I choose to put on. I don't look forward to rewatching Up again. That's why it didn't make my top 10. I love it. I think it's great. Once again, really good characters. Really, really good characters.
Really good
I love it
characters.
for the characters, not the actual story.
Exactly.
Russell.
Hi,
I'm Russell.
and I'm a wilderness explorer. Yeah, I could show that to so many people,
Right.
and they would know.
Right, I'm going to ask you, what happens after the first 10 minutes of Up? What happens?
Well, they're like building around his house, and he doesn't want to move, and then he attaches loads of balloons to his house, and I don't know what happens at the end there.
So you don't know what happens at the end of your top 7 film?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
It's been
do
a while
you love
since I
it?
watched it. Yeah, no, I love it. It's top 10. Up is so iconic. It's so
I feel
good.
like a lot of people wouldn't be able to answer what happens. If you remember, he
Oh, I think
turns
at
up
the
at
end,
Russell's
yeah.
thing and gives him the Ellie badge, and it's the grape soda badge, and he puts it on his thing, and it's adorable.
That's very cute.
Like, so there's a lot more to it, and I really enjoy it, but it's just not my top 10.
It's really good, though.
It is really good, though.
You
Now I'm
lost your
thinking
mind.
about it more.
When you were at Animal Kingdom in Disney and Kevin the bird came walking around, you lost your mind. You were
Like I said,
you're like, oh my gosh.
like I said,
Look at that.
I love the characters more than I love the actual film. Top 15. 100% top 15, but it's just not top 10. Number 6, Toy Story 2. Pixar are so good at introducing new characters, like Hank in Finding Dory, Anxiety in Inside Out 2. Jessie is Toy Story, and we don't see her until Toy Story 2.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. How do they do that?
The reason why the new characters integrated so well is because they were so based around Woody. They came from Woody's Roundup.
Right.
You know, the Prospector and Bullseye and Jesse, they blended in so seamlessly into the cast or the group because it was so intentionally like Woody's gang.
Owl's Toy Barn, genius.
Yes.
When you get there and like there's that whole wall of Buzz Lightyears, the Barbies, and Ham driving the Barbie car.
Yeah, Zurg.
Hilarious.
Who we don't probably see until 2.
It's so good.
It's very good. I've only allowed one spot for Toy Story, otherwise it would just be clogged up my top 10.
The reason it's not top 5, it's top 6 is because I've got another Toy Story film.
So say you had to
5.
scrap Toy Story 2, what would come in?
Up or Wall-E. Probably Wall-E.
Up would make it. Or Wall-E would make it. So yeah.
No, but nowhere near over Toy Story 2. Nowhere near.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying would come in at 6th place. You'd probably bump everything up. But around the 10th place, which is where I put Wall-E, it would probably come in. And Up is kind of at the like back end of this list.
Yeah, they're in top 15.
So I think that's the only thing I've done is I've just not included Toy Story 2.
Yeah, but I think that's a crime. I think that's literally
but
a
it's
crime.
just, again, it's just building on something else, isn't it? But it's like...
No, if you took away Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2 could stand on its own and be the first one. Maybe a controversial take, but I really don't care about Toy Story 1. And I love
just ridiculous.
Toy Story. But in terms of like, if I'm ranking it, Toy Story 1 is the bottom of the Toy Stories.
Over Toy Story 4?
100%.
You're just
100%.
wrong. You're categorically wrong.
Outdated animation.
Sid is the outdated animation fair.
To the
But
point
it's like
where...
their first film.
Yeah, but to the point where some of the speech feels slow compared to the animation. So sometimes I find it a struggle to watch. That's the honest truth.
You are a toy. Strange things are happening. It's just so good.
I'm just saying it is.
Isn't that where You've Got a Friend in Me?
It is the last Toy Story that I would pick to watch.
No. Sid the bad guy.
I'm just telling my truth.
No, I've allowed only one spot for Toy Story.
Okay, so what's your 6 then?
6 we've already done. It's Ratatouille.
So that's
I've just bumped it up one higher than you have.
6. Okay. 5. Coco.
Yep.
I've tried to think of this list as top 5 and then the next 5 as well. So if I got rid of everything else, would I still be happy with my top 5? And yes is the
Coco's
answer.
top 5 Pixar.
Coco is top 5. 100%.
Yeah, all day long.
Masterpiece. Music in Pixar. You don't get it.
No.
And it
Remember
works.
Me. Yeah.
I have to say goodbye.
Written by Bobby and Kristen Anderson Lopez.
They wrote the music for Frozen and stuff as well. Visuals, storyline, incredible. Sobbed my heart out in the cinema. It also deals with really adult stuff. Death. You've got forgetting memories and forgetting family. Deals with family stuff. There's so much in there that it can teach you.
Yeah, I think the quality of the animation with him playing the guitar, that alone makes it top Pixar.
Oh, it's so good.
Proper quality animation.
It is so good.
And I don't think any other studios have got to that level of animation. Number 5 for me, which you don't like, is Cars.
Top 15? Yeah.
Cars is top 5 Pixar.
Let me tell you why, please, if I may.
And then I'll tell you why it is. After.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is not as inspiring or creative or innovative as some of their other ideas. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. I feel like I could have come up with the idea of Cars.
No, you couldn't. Go on.
Yeah.
Come up with another idea like that.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's not particularly creative to put faces on cars.
Are you joking?
Put faces on cars. Him not winning the race, predictable.
Sorry.
I
It's a
look
children's
for
film.
twists,
Sorry
turns.
that it's not.
No, it is not a children's film. Get off this podcast if you think that.
Cars is a children's film. You can't pretend. We just enjoy it as adults.
No, these films are not made for kids.
Walk into Pixar CEO office right now. Cars is not made for kids.
Disney films are not made for kids. They're made for
are.
everyone.
Yeah, well, then, all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. All
Yeah,
right.
I could have written Cars.
No, you couldn't.
I could have come up with that. I don't think that is particularly inspired or creative.
Cars isn't inspired.
No, compared to something like Finding Nemo, Wall-E, things I couldn't have written.
Yeah, Wall-E didn't even make your top 10.
Yeah, but neither did Cars.
I love
Defend
Cars.
it then.
The cast, you've got Owen Wilson.
I love Owen Wilson. He's one of my favourites.
I love it.
Ka-chow. You too could look like me.
I love the story of Lightning McQueen meeting Sally. You've got Doc Hudson. You've got Mater, who I love.
Here's
and
the
the whole
tea.
crew. Him bringing this old town, Radiator Springs, back onto the map and doing good things for it. Putting his selfishness aside to become selfless. And doing all the things. You've got Jeremy Clarkson voicing his agent.
But you just said you didn't like Onward because of that. Why couldn't Lightning
Yeah,
McQueen realise at the start?
Yeah, because Ian's...
Well, that's the whole point.
Ian's like thing was just... He was just mean to his brother. Like, just...
No, he wasn't.
He was. He was just...
His brother embarrassed him at school. It was bad.
I was booty-hoody.
With Cars, it's another situation of the characters are better than the story itself.
No, the story's fabulous. No, it's top 5 Pixar.
They had those like sun visors that you put on cars with eyes on for years. They've had them since I was little. That is putting a face on a car. It's already been
brilliant.
done.
I think it's brilliant. A sticker company.
Herbie.
Brum.
A car that was alive.
Are you going to say that
Brum?
Are you going to say that Brum came before Cars and therefore Cars is some rubbish,
There are some
uninspired
people who are going to be watching or listening to this thinking, what is Brum?
Go Google Brum now, or put an image of Brum in right now.
I can't, it'll be copyright. But it's, an old car from an old series. Cars is basically Brum rip-off.
I can't believe we've got a Brum reference in.
How did we get a Brum reference into this? That's like saying Fox and the Hound was inspired by Basil Brush. It's ridiculous. Number 4, Monsters, Inc.
It's top 5 Pixar for sure. The 2 you've mentioned already, Coco and Monsters,
They're
Inc.
in there
now,
somewhere.
They're higher than what you've put them.
This film for me is the reason why people talk about the golden age of Pixar. This is
Pixar. Monsters,
Pixar.
Inc. Yeah, I'd put it second.
Fresh,
It's
new,
literally, it is Pixar.
innovative. The creation of a world and a concept. This is why Cars is not top 10. Because I don't think they created a good enough, big enough world and concept and story. I feel like it's predictable. Whereas I could not have written Monsters, Inc. I think it's incredible to take something like the monster being like in the cupboard or whatever and then be like, oh, they are actually in there and there's a whole world behind there. Who thought of that? Amazing. And it's hilarious and there's a great villain. The fact that at the end it turns it from screams to laughter, amazing.
I'm just upset that you've not put it higher.
The friendship between Mike and Sully, amazing.
I totally agree with everything you're saying. I only disagree with the fact you put it 4th and not higher. It's literally
but you'll
Pixar.
see.
The heart of Pixar is Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, but you'll see.
And again, the characters are iconic. I could just draw you a circle with 4 little arms coming out and colour it in green, and everyone would know what that is.
Yeah. They then did the series Monsters at Work, which is so funny and so good, and you should all definitely watch it if you have not, because there are 2 series of it, and both are so worth watching. Abominable Snowman, hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love everything.
I love the whole... I was going to say...
No notes.
We haven't mentioned it yet, but the John Ratzenberger thread through all the Pixar films.
Incredible. It's one of the reasons why I have a ham tattoo on my arm, is because he does a voice in like every Pixar film.
In every film of one character, and I love it. 4 for me is Finding Nemo. Incredible.
No.
What do you mean no?
That is too low.
That's not too low. It's not too low
in my top.
It's very good.
I'm interested to see what you've got above it.
Well, Monsters, Inc. is above Finding Nemo. Have you put Finding Nemo above Monsters, Inc.?
Yeah, I have.
Whoa. I mean, they're close. The only reason I know a clownfish is because of Finding Nemo.
You're
Again,
so right.
It's universally iconic.
Yeah, when anyone sees a clownfish,
children will literally
they
point
say
and say
Nemo.
Nemo. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not why you
know,
like
but
it.
I'm just saying, and that's not why I like it, but the popularity is so big, it has to be considered like top 3, but I've put it 4. Top 5.
Yeah, I think it's top 3.
Top 5 Pixar.
3, Elemental. This is where I've put
This is where I put 9. Okay, yeah. You've got it so high.
I'll tell you for why. We sat in the cinema. I was expecting it to be, you know, like how in Zootropolis, they focus quite a lot on the world and almost like the politics and the society of the world.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They created this whole world to give us a beautiful rom-com. It has a lot of other factors like immigration and things like that you could really like have a lesson. But it also, at the heart of it, is just a really good rom-com. And it also follows things like, you know, forbidden love and doing things to please your family and things like that. But at the heart of it is a rom-com. And I love that they did that.
Right, read me quickly what's below Elemental. Because Elemental was good and it could have moved me off the bridge, but it's not better than Monsters, Inc.
Monsters, Inc., Coco, Toy Story 2.
You put Coco, Toy Story 2 and Monsters, Inc. below Elemental.
At this point, you haven't even put Toy Story 2 on your list.
Scratch, this isn't about me, this is about you.
All right.
This is your list.
They have taken like Wade, who is like a blob of water. Oh, by the way, he cries all the time. They've taken Ember, and she has anger issues and family issues, and they've made them fall in love.
That doesn't sound better than Monsters, Inc.
So they've taken something so big and put a simple story in it. I love it.
You think,
it's
you think Elemental's
genius.
better than Brave, Cars,
Yes.
Monsters, Inc.,
Yes.
Toy Story 2, Coco?
I watch it most nights.
It's good. I've got it in my top 10. It's definitely top 10 Pixar.
You feel like
Don't he?
all through it
Yeah.
that they're going to kill off the dad, and
Yes.
they don't. Good. You don't need to kill
I
everyone.
spent my whole time worried that my heart's going to get ripped out and the dad was just going to go into a puff of smoke.
And this is spoilers, so if you haven't seen Elemental, I really recommend that you pause this and go and watch it immediately. When he, like, essentially evaporates, I genuinely thought he was gone, and I think that's hard to achieve.
I would have preferred it if he had gone, really.
Like, kill the water guy!
We did it with Mufasa. Like, give us a hard... If you're going to hit us hard, don't pull your punch. Don't like,
No, but...
they're gone, but only for a minute. Nah.
Yeah, but they do that enough though. Pixar have done it with Bing Bong and all that. He hasn't come back.
Give, and Ellie dying at the start of Up. Give me, if you're gonna throw a punch straight into my gut,
no,
make Wade disappear.
It reminds me of Onward and why I like Onward so much. The setting becomes almost irrelevant because the story itself is so good. Thank you. What about you?
Number 3, we've already done it. Coco. Coco for me is much higher on my list than
I can see that. It's not much higher. Coco's 5 for me. That's not too bad.
I've put it top 3. Coco's definitely top 3. Alebrije.
Alebrije Dante.
Which is and you thought it was a lebrige, didn't you? And you wanted the plush. Have we got? Yeah, he's right
up
there.
on the wall.
He's just up there. You wanted like Alebrije Dante, and you made me call up like the Disney store in Cardiff. I was like, have you got any Alebrije Dantes? And the poor girl had not a clue.
You didn't say
not
it.
A
You
clue.
didn't know either. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said
It's
it.
some like Mexican term which I'd never heard before, and you were so
Neither
confident.
had I.
You were like, ask them for an Alebrije Dante.
Alebrije Dante.
And I was like, okay, I will. And then like the poor girl.
Anyway.
Do you mean some Alebrije?
Number 2, Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I put it 4th, but yeah, I can respect it being at number 2.
I am shook to my core that you do not think that is minimum top 3 Pixar. It has aged the best. It's totally timeless.
Yeah, because the background's blue, isn't it? Come off it. Like when you think of like Bug's Life and you think of Toy Story.
No.
They're like the background scenes are awful because there's like nothing going on in the background.
No, it's not. If you watch Finding Nemo, the jellyfish look stunning. The coral, the reef, everything, stunning. They're in a dentist's office. It does not look aged. It's so good. When Bruce comes to the screen and smiles, that still gets me. I'm like, what? Yeah. If that is on, I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. I used to like Finding Nemo, but now I love it. When I was younger, it was just a like. I was like, that's a cool film. I enjoy it. But now I really, really like fully adore it. I would have it on all the time. Nemo's egg. Can we have a minute for Nemo's egg? Right?
Good score.
The score of the opening, when we went to Epcot and met the manatees, Nemo's egg was playing, and to me it was just, you have those moments in the universe. That was one of those universe moments where I was like, this is living, and my eye was tearing and I was looking at manatees like I've wanted to for so long, literally fulfilling a dream. And then Nemo's egg comes on, one of my favourite scores ever. The opening 5 minutes of Finding Nemo are gut-wrenching. Instantly the first 5 minutes you care about Nemo. Without that first 5 minutes, you'd be like, he's lost his son. But you realise the stakes are so high. It's all he has. You also have an immediate understanding of Marlin and all of his anxieties about the ocean. So you understand where they're both coming from straight away. Nemo's been overprotected and he doesn't really quite understand why. And the other guy doesn't want to lose his son.
Number 2 for me, we've already done it, Monsters Inc. I've just put it higher. It's life and soul of Pixar, so I've put it in number 2.
It's definitely top 5. Okay.
Number 1, big reveal.
Number 1, 3, 2, 1.
Toy Story 3.
Yeah. Obviously, Toy Story 3. I'm sat here in a Lotso bucket hat for a reason. Iconic, amazing. It is elite. Not a second is wasted on that screen. Lotso is a baddie with no redemption at the end.
Yeah.
Let's normalise just baddies being baddies. Okay, we understand his motivation. I like how they do that. I like how they show it. But once he's bad, he's bad. He does not save them from the furnace.
Yep. Give me a baddie with the stakes are high.
Give me a bad baddie.
Give me a bad baddie.
We grow with the films. In Toy Story 3, Buster is old. Andy gives his toys away. It is so emotional to grow with something. And I love how they do that. The passage of time and how they show us that. It's so well done in this film. I could talk about this film forever. The furnace scene, you genuinely feel like that could be the end. I'm
you
like,
know it wouldn't, but yeah.
I'm going,
no.
I'm going through in my head going, who's going to save them? They're all there. No one's going to save them. Is Andy going to come and be randomly in this bin?
They weren't just going to barbecue those toys in front of the kids on the cinema screen, were they?
No, but you
like,
feel
I knew
like
no
they're
one
gone.
was going to die, but
the
they are
fact that
obviously
it was
out
the
of this.
claw. Perfect.
Yes, that was
Of course
perfectly
it's
done.
the claw. It is my favourite cinema experience I've ever had. It was a full cinema of adults and kids. You look around at that point with the furnace or giving the toys away, not a dry eye in the house. Everyone is silent, which is so rare, kids included, silent, glued to the screen, crying. Everyone.
It's perfection.
Every character has great screen time.
Yeah.
They all have their own little mission to do. Potato Head being all the different
That is
foods.
a film, yeah, and that's the thing. Some of the animation ideas are really good. Potato Head as like a wrap, like a tortilla wrap.
Hilarious.
Really cool. What I like though is like the adult jokes as well within it.
Yes.
Because that's what I know where you say, oh, it's made for everyone. It kind of is. And like, you know,
Yes.
I just think of like a stupid thing where Mr. Potato Head's something like, hey, no one takes my wife's mouth or something like that, which is so inappropriate. But that goes straight over the kids' heads. Really clever. And there are so many moments like that.
Spanish
the
Buzz.
Lines, Spanish Buzz, iconic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's so much.
It is one of those films where when you rewatch it, you enjoy it just as much. It just doesn't get old. The rewatchability is crazy good for Toy Story 3. Literally put on my list. Not sure anything will top this film for me.
No.
Ever.
I don't think it ever will.
It's my favourite film ever, not just my favourite Pixar film. It is my favourite ever film. That is the list then. Are you excited for the future ones? So we've got Elio, which comes out
What's that?
in June.
I so don't like casting judgment on something before I've seen it. Do you know
I
what
know,
I mean?
but are you excited? We've got Toy Story 5 coming. Toy Story 5 needs to be a prequel, in my opinion.
Yes,
I
it
want
does.
to see Woody being made in a factory as like a pre-thing. You know, like how everyone...
I want to know who owned him first.
Yes. Make it Andy's dad who owned him first.
A dad?
Yeah.
Or the mum?
No, the dad. He doesn't have a dad in the film. Why? What's going on? Where's the dad at? Maybe the one thing he left behind was this Woody. But obviously we know that Woody is a collectible piece. So he's got to be old. So did he come from a granddad? Where's he from? What's going on?
I would love a prequel.
A prequel.
I don't want
Make
another
Toy Story
sequel.
5 a prequel, please. If we are going to go back into other things that are already done and not original stories, make Toy Story 5 a prequel. Give us Bug's Life 2. I'd love to see a Bug's Life 2. And I want to see a TV series called Finding Hank.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And I want it to be all about Hank from Finding Dory and why he hates the ocean, why he doesn't want to go back there. Just got time for a controversial corner.
Controversial corner. At the end of each episode, we bring each other something that we think might be a bit controversial.
I don't think this is controversial. This is just a statement. Bring back bloopers, Pixar. Bring back bloopers at
But
the
does
end.
it kind of change the mood of the film? Like, could you imagine it like the end of, I don't know, like Elemental or something like that? Like the bloopers. Like, I don't know, does it remove you a little bit from the film? Like when you've had something so emotional and poignant.
No.
To just come out and then just actors messing around. And the animators messing around.
No, see, I really like that. When you see that in Toy Story 2, Bug's Life, it's so fun. Even when you've had like your heart ripped out because you're watching a Pixar film, to then put it back to, haha, it's all actors and animation. It's great. I love that. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, not really a controversial statement.
That is the end of this week's episode. Thank you very much for joining us. I have been Elz. Who are you?
I've been Nikon.
I've been Nikon. And we hope you have enjoyed this episode of Elz Tells. Don't forget you can let us know what you want to see in the future. I am Elz Smart. Thank you for joining and we will see you next time.
Whoop whoop.